Hi. Hello. It's Kathy Vick, and I am finding that this is such an actively shifting and changing time that it's in. Obviously, if I thought it was appropriate to sit and look at the sparkles, I would, but it's not. It's time. This is my work boots are on, but they're very fuzzy and warm, and they're so comfortable. I like putting them on in the morning. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So I realize that some of this, I've been getting this info the, the last few days, that this thing I wrote called, I don't know, Love Songs from the Road or something like that. It was about two dykes, basically, who were a couple, and they were just kind of weird, okay? And they had a friend who was a bit magical, who would just like pop in now and then, and 111 and say, "Ladies, there's someone in an antique shop in Missouri who needs you. Want to go?" And they'd go on road trips, and they'd have these really bizarre experiences with people, and these people's minds would be blown. And then they'd just hop town and go like, I don't know, find a weird, like, huge ball of yarn or whatever is out there in the middle of the America, and have an experience. And just they were always sort of nipping at each other. I could easily modify that to mother and son, because they never had sex. They were just good friends, but you knew that they were really intimate. That was the idea, and that's out there. I already wrote that. But that's sort of what's happening. So, like, I realized, okay, well, here I am. I'm not working, and I. It'd be great to have a gig. It'd be great to be able to go to a bookstore and just plop my ass down and do readings for 8 hours. But the last time I checked, there was no traction. There was no interest. I was not attractive to them. A lot of them, because they're just a bunch of. It's just so clicky, and you have to prove yourself. All right, fine, sit down. I'll read you. In fact, I don't have to. We don't have to sit. What do you want to know? Really? We have to go through this? So that's not a very good attitude to have, right? Because you're supposed to, lay low and say, please. Oh my God, you're like so advanced. Would you be willing to like give me a booth and shit? Now I can play the game maybe, but why would I? And I had that cockiness, but I didn't have the chops. How am I supposed to peddle that? Nobody wants that. So, I don't know. What the hell am I supposed to do? So, I was doing, like, I'd show up at gigs, like, I don't know. I did private parties. I did really fun. And I did other kind of things and just would gig. I just do readings and stuff. That was fun. But that's kind of, freeform, right? I ain't punching a clock and litigating hours with my boss and stuff. And I'm called. I'm just open day to day. I mean, I got a few things I have to do, but not a whole lot. So today I'm going to go hang out with a friend who just has really been kind of standoffish a lot, alarmingly so. And she just asked me, would you come over and hang out with me? Wow. Are you kidding me? You want me to bring muffins? So I'll go do that for a few hours, and I'm going to do many things that are very helpful for others. That's the point. And things that are not harmful to me. In fact, things that make me feel better. So that's kind of neat. But we're going to get real technical here, right? Because my sleep patterns, my sleep, the whole thing is different now. And I want to give you a little funny. There's this alarm that I use. Is a real like samba beat. And then there's this nice little these chorus of voices that go, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. All right, so it's really corny, and it's got this samba beat and everything. The last couple days, while I'm sleeping, like after 4 a.m., for the last 2 or 3 days, it's so funny. It was really pronounced today because it was like punctuation, and then it began. So that's what's going to happen. But the last couple days, I'd be in bed. It's dark. I'm sleeping, and I'd hear, get up. You know, the beginning of that song. Get up, 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 That's what it sounds like. I hear it once. Get up. And it's just enough to get me up. Because I'm anticipating the second get up. Because it's get up, get up, get up, get up, And there's only one get up. All right, you guys. I'm so sure. I am so sure. You cheeky little devils. It's so cute. But today, they've been showing me how it's an eclipse thing that they've been showing me night after night. And I see now it was a calendar. Like some sort of, I don't know, energetic thing you do. I don't know, but I'm going to explain it to you. And then they're going to explain it to you. And they're going to blow your effing mind. Okay? You ready? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I've been working a lot with death motifs. And I've been working a lot with a blinding lunar surface. I've been seeing a lot of lunar surfaces. I was doing some hands-on work, and I saw that within a person, and I saw the entity as a node, like just a node on this barren lunar surface. And I've been watching how things have been progressing, and I can see that there's something that's really morphing, and it had to do with finality. It had to do with finishing up contracts, and intense ones, and just breaking them. Acknowledging, really, they've been dead for about 5 years. And I kept them alive. These obligations, these obligations in personality, these obligations to flaws that I never agreed with from the get-go. But they were part of the agreement. They were never part of my identity. But it's how other people saw me and refused to see me any other way. Okay, fine. And so I adopted that. Have you done that? Are you the bad boy? Are you the one that no matter how good you got it, you're always sabotaging it because you're a bad boy? Is that you? I was. Are you the competent one? Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing and how much they're losing their shit. You and yours. You have this shit down. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. You're doing great. You one of those? Are you the smartest person in the room? And everyone else has a fault that's fatal. Well, obviously, except you. But everyone else. And it's really, really, really important to be aware of those flaws. To point them out to yourself often. And to complain about them much. Is that you? It was me. All those things were me. You're surrounded by friends, surrounded by devoted people who might secretly hate your guts and want you dead. But you let them cling to you as you cling to them. Is that you? Well, enjoy that because it's ending. Drink it in. Tastes good? Look down. Has it nourished you? It's ending. Aren't you glad? It's ending. All of it. Well, if you want it to. Otherwise, it's just going to get grotesque and get really hard. Super hard. Cosmic 2x4 time. If the whispers aren't listened to, and the low speech isn't listened to, and the hollering isn't listened to, then it's time for a cosmic 2x4. But a lot of this is going to, 1111 is going to surprise a lot of people. Because can't you feel it coursing through me? Do you feel a sense of like retribution or of anger or of judgment or of you dumb shits or whatever? All that, I liberally sprinkled upon myself every morning. It was my face cream. All those nasty rolls. And then all the twisty, I'm better than you, I'm less than you, I'm better than you, I'm less than you, I can't stand you, I need you, all that stuff. I think that I can see that in the government and the citizenry. I see a lot of polarities, a lot of places. And we've talked about being on the fence, right? And realizing that, if there are two people and a fence in between, in this particular scenario, you can take it to the bank that they're the same person, right? So all of those relationship issues and the issues and the, hey, you're bad person because you did me dirty and all that shit, all that nasty stuff, well, that's on one side of the fence, actually, believe it or not. It's a very argumentative, angry person who keeps muttering to themselves and trying to kill themselves. Basically, it's just self-hate and redemption. It's hunting a good man down, throwing him on a cross, and then feeling shitty about it for 2,000 years. Basically, it's that whole model of, I need you to be a good person, whatever. It's all that shit. And on the other side of the fence is this billowy, beautiful, anytime you want to wake up, you can. Okay? It's okay. You realize that's a fever dream, right? None of that's real. Look who you want holding your hand. Look at why your heart is hurting. Look at what you're complaining about. It's about being recognized. It's about being able to recognize the other in safety. It's about connection. It's about respect. It's okay. None of it's real. And part of it is because where you are physically, look around you. Yeah, see? You want to come over and take a peek? No, just for a minute. It's okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'll never go anywhere. It's okay. Come here. The farther you go, the more it hurts. Just remember that, okay? You'll figure it out, but You want to come peek? Look. Look. There's no fence. Come on. And it might be just at dream time. But people are finding their way home. I was shown this morning, it's not all about fractals. It's about endings. And it wasn't really until this morning. The person I was seeing as I was helping and using my hands to steady, who had that lunar surface, has lost so much. It really defies description. And then this morning, after realizing this is about endings, it's not about modifying patterns, it's about ending patterns. Well, I sat and I cried because I realized I was kind of a lunar surface myself. I had thought about it from time to time when I had heard about these stories of loss, and I'd seen the devastation and wondered, oh my goodness, I've been through a lot, but God, I don't know how that person's standing straight up. And this morning I thought about it, and wow, in the space of literally, it didn't take very long. There's a lot that stopped inside my own heart and in my life just recently. And today I get up, and all I felt was, ended. It was different. The energy was completely different. It felt different here. And the colors are really quite bright. And as I was thinking about how I'm sort of being led on adventures like that couple, never seen it. Out of my window, I see the same amount of bikers, bicycle riders, as I used to see when I lived up in Jamestown, and there were all these bikers on the weekends. Their little bike shorts who would hang out at the Mercantile, and God, those are indecent pants to be wearing out in public. Let me just say that. Anyway, there they are. And then another wave. Tons of them. And then another wave. And I'm trying to put my finger on why this is so weird, and then I realize this is the first time since I lived up there that I've ever seen anything like that. And for that moment, I felt like I was sitting in that little shack. And I would think that the bicycle wheels sound like crickets to me. And it was just, and I realized it was a bleed through. And they were talking about, at the time I was thinking about other things and how bleed through-y things were, and then that happened, and whoa. Oh, wow. Well, that's kind of fun. So, it's no longer this, holy fuck, just calm down, holy fuck, for like whatever, 5 years, or whatever, 56 years. Alright? Consider this a Pluto retrograde conjunct my North Node. Consider this my Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. Pisces, Virgo. Hey, you got this. Do you know how much of a wizard you are? You know how cool you are? You want to take a look at your friends? Come on, you take a nap. You feel better after you've dreamed. Holy fuck! Holy fuck! And so it went. It ain't that no mo. Did I get overtaken? No. What happened is this is soul. Or, I don't know, it's like the little portal in between holy fuck and hello there. You know, there has to be a step down. Well, as everything goes whoop, and as I have already gone whoop, whoop, then, you know, you just keep going up the column or whatever, and you just have access to different energy, and you don't have access to other. It's just like, ew, oh, that gives me diarrhea. I can't be around that. Ugh. Hey, go for it. Have at it. It's completely legal, and I love you. But, yeah, I can't make it. And there's a whole bunch I can make it for. And, it's so groovy. So I'll end my little portion because I'm in a channel, and I know it's long. I don't care. You know, I'll put in the notes, channel begins at boop. And then if you don't want to listen to me go blah blah, just go to the boop part and listen to them. That's cool. I do that sometimes. But I mean, that's a gold mine, baby. But whatever. But they said, didn't I say something at the beginning? I got a headache, it's just blaring. Didn't I say something about, there was some, 20 to 11. Ooh, really technical stuff that they were gonna, we'll see. Oh, my glasses. Okay. It's a pretty day. I just want to get relaxed, okay? Do you mind? Oh, I gotta mention my friends. 2 new friends blew me away. It's happening. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Well, you know. Yeah, it's nice to adjust. Is it necessary for us to close our eyes and breathe deeply and go like this? No. It feels better to do such things when we know we need to leap. You see? But normally, the energy can come from very, very far. But normally, it's pictures, yeah? And there are times it's just codes. And they don't need to be understood. There's much that doesn't need to be consciously understood. What is understood consciously is understood consciously. Lovely. But to expect that your big brain manages all of it, well, don't you have better things to do? It would be different if you didn't have a physical vehicle to maintain. Then full access, la 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 la, you can go anywhere. However, obviously, the larger part of the energy is non-physical. And the physical body can be innervated or whatever, minimally, and the larger part of the consciousness can be focused on things that are not physical. And this, of course, happens in times of fugue states, out of body times, and times when you have fevers, when you are sick. These are times when you are doing magic. So it is not something to. It pains our heart to see people put themselves or others down spiritually for having a non-intact, whatever that may be, physical body. This is a form of grotesquerie. It's a form of spiritual competition. Those who are ill, you know. You hold a badge of honor, simply energetically, that those who are in good health do not. You are doing extra work. So, you are not failing. You're not failing your family. You're not failing yourself. You're not failing anyone if you're sick. You have that right. And part of the New Age community has been to shame illness and the ill, and to equate those who are ill, disfigured, different, physically not the Da Vinci man thing. If you're not perfect, if you're not the Aryan race, then you don't have all your spiritual things in place. Poppycock, that's grotesque. Don't do that to each other, and don't do it to yourself. That kind of thinking, you know what that kind of thinking breeds? It breeds illness. It breeds sudden cardiac death. It breeds a lot of nonsense. It's not necessary. It's nasty. Could you think the next time that you have a cold that you're a bit of a shaman? You have a virus that you cannot treat with antibiotics, and yet you languish in a fever. Do you know exactly what you are doing spiritually? No, you don't. You judge it. Don't do that. No more. Okay? Now, we are not talking to everyone. There are some who are in accord with their bodies and understand that they are magic. And we applaud you. And when your body does not do as you say, it's doing as it sees fit. It has an authority. You don't. It knows things you don't. It is your job as the operator to figure out how to talk to it. It wants to talk. And dear one, you want to talk to it. You would be surprised what it has to say. Imagine that that's a responsibility. Ooh, that's harsh. I need to go to the doctor. He is the person who tells me what's going on. Well, okay. Do that. It's fine. It's actually quite helpful in many respects. It can be very healing. Oftentimes these people are a primary relationship. And this dance affords much in the way of healing and self-understanding. And it's often used to move your story along when you no longer can. Ooh. And this one, yes, she could have had a car accident, and it would have sped things up significantly. But it was too harsh, and we offered her this, and she knew. It was an offer. She said, no, I don't want it that way. It's too rough. And so, it isn't rough. But, many of the same things that would have happened are happening now, but very gently. Do you understand? So, can you understand that perhaps illness may be playing a part in not only the conversation you have with yourself, but how your illness moves and changes others? Imagine such a thing. Does not illness, whether acute, chronic, or terminal, change your relationships? Does it not? This is why we say illness, it is a very honored part of the healing engine currently. We've talked a lot about healing, you know. Much of it kind of revolutionary and cheeky. And yet, we heal. Happily. We wish to talk about this lunar surface, the Clarion Call, and the awakening. Are you ready? Your body must adjust. Okay. We wish to bring you to the thought of a lunar surface, but the background, the sky. Do not see it as black, please. Imagine that dawn has risen in the sky behind this moon, and so the sky is light. That funny washed out light right before it turns into day. Not a lot of color. The color is implied. A funny kind of light, but light nonetheless, not black, not inkiness. And the surface is blinding in its whiteness. There are pock marks. There is no life, there is no oxygen, there is no water. There's less gravity. It's an inhospitable environment for biology. And yet you're standing there looking at the sky, white, pockmarked, seemingly infinite expanse of silver white, and a sky that nearly matches the color. Imagine such a thing. If you truly are there, in that still point, in that moment, you are singular. And in a true sense, you stand alone. And the connections stream from your biology, cascading rivers of light and sound, connecting you to the multiverses, claiming that lunar surface as dear friend and lit up sky is a wonderful idea for the moment. This is a very unusual place to be, and we are glad that we could take you there. In this queer area of suspension and raw, pure, unlanguageable creativity, there is a sound. There is a message. What do you want? You may have it. Search your heart and search your soul and search for opposition. What do you want? You may have it. We are not suggesting a Volvo in your driveway, and if you wish to think that small, then you will find that the gifts are quite small. What do you want? You may have it, because there has been an ending, a closing, a change, a shift, and that is why we took the time now to talk to you. Some know, most do not, but it is profound, it is biological, and it will change circumstances, because the circumstances are merely expressions of self and understandings of self and other. It is these understandings which are changing. They must, as must circumstances. Whether you are the change agent or the changed, it matters not. Well, this sounds quite violent. It sounds quite final. It sounds quite scary, and I don't want to do any of it. Go away. Go away. I don't want to do any of it. I like my life. There's nothing wrong with my life. Well, fine. Good. Then do you need a real strong wind to come in and wipe things clean? No, you don't. Have you been doing your work? Oh, look at you. This is not a retribution kind of thing. This is not punishment. This is assist. And, we have said, it's about looking through your belongings and deciding what you want to keep that is very important to you. That is you. Who are you? Who are you? What matters to you? And that is indeed what you hold dear, and will do anything to keep. We say that, clinging, and it's often a false kind, There is love, there is hate, there is conflict, there is resolution. It's so fun. And it is the polarized stuff that will begin to just be less polarized, and this can knock people off their guard a little bit. So we wish to talk about this beautiful thing that has been coming through so loud that it is actually somewhat of a guide. It is the most soothing thing that would guide the one before you. Often unseen, and often this one's favorite thing. She's a bit of an imp. and has come to relish being underestimated. She's raised this response to a high art, and it's so fun, so delicious. Please, I invite you. I invite you. There will come a time, and you will be foolish. You will feel so foolish. But for now, yes. Well, you know, it's a long time to hold this vibration. It's not a bad vibration to hold for a lifetime. But can you not feel the spring coiled tight, ready for a certain kind of vengeance that is quite humorous but pointed? Well, you know, that's very wonderful if you're playing the game. If there is a winner and a loser, if there's spiritual competition, if there has been much in the way of victimization and humiliation and imprisonment and betrayal, disingenuousness, emotional lying. This is polarity itself, and this is quite uncomfortable for the body habitus in this new energy. And it is this argument, this deep polarity that must and has ended. So much of this has been the magnetics. Much of it was the Piscean age. Okay, there was a cross pollination of we're done here. This we're done. And then there has been this period, this corridor of weirdness, and now the eclipse, which sets new intentions for humanity. And it's not humanity's angels who have set the intentions. We think you need to do this. This is the plan. No. You are gods in suits of biology which are magical. It is up to you. You run the ship. You built the program. You set the hypotheses. You agreed to the magnetics, to how your chakras were positioned in consciousness. It was you. Do you think any of this was foisted upon you by angels? By a god who's very clever? No. It is you. You are you. Be proud. You are part of an ascension process, empowering each human being with the full knowledge that they are representations, representatives of civilizations they consciously know not of. Royalty. You are royalty, each. Don't you think it's nice to have that fever dream end? For you to wake up to what's true? It's been staring you in the face the whole time. Look how you treat the royalty in England. What's understood. the power, the significance, and the importance. Imagine if you treated yourself that way. And imagine if your neighbor and your wife and your husband, whatever you are, that person that you've devoted your soul to, imagine if they saw you like that. Imagine if you saw them like that. Sovereigns, representatives of vast fortunes and higher knowledge, and terrific power and great creativity. How easy would it be for you to find fault with their coffee, with the meal they prepared for you, with the paycheck they brought home for you? Huh? This is what is going on. This is what is ending. And we say, bravo, is an improvement over how you've been treating each other and yourselves. It's high time. So we're going to end with a tale that was brought into consciousness by a friend. The tale of the confused king who goes for a little walk and into the village. And it's funny, but on the way, he begins to lose his memory. And he's beautifully equipped with ermine thingy-do, white and the black and the pretty and the crown and all of that. Okay? Queen or king, don't matter. The sovereign smells great, looks great, feels great, goes for a walk. And they walk in the forest, kind of erases his memory a little bit. And so by the time he wanders into the village, he doesn't know who he is. But he has knowledge. He has knowledge that he's on a quest to find the king. That's all he knows. He has to find the king. And he doesn't anymore recognize that his clothing is quite kingly, okay? It is nothing's computing. Perhaps there was a mist in that forest that looked a lot like something that you've been walking through. Imagine such a thing. That would be confusing. And then he gets there and he begins to encounter people and they all know that he's the king. It's kind of obvious. But he doesn't. And he's on a quest. So he finds the most sweet person, the kindest one. You can just tell, just radiates. The one who's the wisest. He can feel it. And he goes up to that person who's sitting on a barrel having a smoke and is in tattered clothes. The king bends down and says, "Hey, can I talk with you for a few minutes?" And this barrel guy says, "Sure." And they have a conversation and it blows the king away. My God. He is wise and sage, loyal and deep and true. He must be the king. So, he risks it. He bends down and says, "Hey, I need to find someone. You have qualities that tell me that I might be on the right path. I'm looking for the king. I need to find the king. Can you help me?" Well, the guy on the barrel having a smoke is kind of laid out with that one. What? Oh, God. Oh, shit, we're in trouble. The king's lost his mind. No one's at the helm. Holy crap. We suggest that this story, which we gave a while ago and is available for you in full, is the tale that is being told to and for and by every human being on earth now. We suggest you walk yourself to a mirror. Look into those eyes. Study that face. And try to convince yourself try it. You won't be able to. Try to tuck yourself out of that magnificence. It's not possible. Look deeply within those eyes, and you will see something. It takes you farther than it used to. Study that skin, those pores, those lines, that smile. Goof your face a little bit. Touch your body as you're doing it. Touch your face. Bring it all in, but look at those eyes. The king saw something in that little fella sitting on the barrel. It wasn't his clothes. It wasn't his coiffed hair. It was his eyes. He looked deeply. He saw the truth. And yet by accident of birth, it is his head that is heavy with its own crown. The truth is, the king, even in amnesia, has very good eyesight, can see far, and recognizes the truth. They and this man on a barrel were the same. This man smoking, he's just like me. And in amnesia, it is true. And in the agreed reality, it is not. So, if your agreement fields do not allow for your royal status, if your agreement fields have required that you bend low and bear much, bravo. The butterfly, that is a story for these times. There was another insertion. Not all insertions of this kind are in nature. This one was literary. The genetically understood and beloved tale of Cinderella. So, the mice are gleeful. This is also a metaphor we've used from time to time. They have been of great assist, and they are so happy that the beautiful, beautiful lady is finally awake, and finally in her castle, and finally happy. O king, O queen, we greet you this day. We love you, whether in full amnesia or in full awareness. Doesn't matter. doesn't matter. The king who was bending down and acting a bit ridiculous was still the king, you know. And you are this one's king. Do you understand? No one on this side of the fence, which is every single person on earth, no one of these is here without one of these and one of those. But we ask you to look around. Where is that fence? Where is your permission level? Where is your wonder level? Where is your heart? And where are your circumstances? Are you a bit freer? Or can you feel it in the air? Can you sense it? Like a caged animal who knows there's got to be some kind of chink in the metal after all these years? Yeah. Well, we say it's a good time to be looking at our work. Enjoy this next part. You were all deeply honored and loved, and safe as kittens, we say. So safe. So safe and sound. Please enjoy this next part. Endings be damned, it's fun. You're coming home.